Ancient as the Stars by Maya Darjani. Ancient as the Stars is an adult indie sci-fi novel in which Karena Yilmaz and Ren Yilmaz, the same person, 60 years apart from each other, are ended up forced together through some timey-wimey nonsense, and are pretty much forced to have to reconcile with their past traumas and everything else in order to keep themselves and their respective crewmates alive. So I'll admit that I am not usually a huge fan of sci-fi. I like books like The Martian or Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I like watching Firefly. But a lot of science fiction, anytime I've tried to pick it up, whether it's through television or books, sometimes feels a little bit inaccessible, personally, just because while yes, I do like science and all that kind of stuff, a lot of times they tend to be very focused on the numbers and the science behind it, and that's not necessarily something that I want to read. And so picking up this book, I was pleasantly surprised by how accessible it really is. Yes, it is very clearly a science fiction novel. There are a lot of sci-fi elements, but they aren't necessarily the focus. The focus seems to be much more on the emotional beats, and truthfully, throughout the book, there's a lot of times where it feels a lot more like a thriller than a sci-fi novel. The idea that you can have the same character 60 years apart be entirely different people, and force them to interact and kind of have to deal with their shared history is a really clever concept, and was really interesting to watch, not watch, but to read play out, because it resulted in a lot of hijinks and just a lot of really interesting story beats. Overall, if you are a person who likes the idea of science fiction but maybe isn't so much a fan of the hard sci-fi concepts, and are looking for something with a little bit more emotion and nuance, Ancient as the Stars is an excellent pick.